It was a joke.
I like that question.
How are you feeling today?
I did handoffs and just kind of ran around, did some endo stuff, and kind of just taking it, slowly, but day by day.
Let the shoulder rest a little bit?
A little bit.
What do you think the prognosis might be?
Yeah, it was good. Got MRIs yesterday and everything, and everything came back looking good. So, just like you said yesterday, just taking it day by day and seeing how it all feels.
You optimistic, I guess? Do you feel like you're going to get it?
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a quick healer, so I like to, think I'll be feeling pretty good by Saturday.
Remember what the exact play was?
I think it was like the third drive or something, whenever targeting or something that wasn't targeting, and then just kind of the rest of the game, and then the last play I was in, my arm kind of rolled back a little bit, but just kind of third drive I think is when I started noticing something.
You kind of change your arm angle a little bit, especially in the second half. Was that just a result of the injury?
Yeah, it's just kind of like a dead arm type deal where you feel it kind of pinches, but it's all good.
You go from a rough weekend like that to playing the #1 team in the country. Mentally, what's the process of moving on and getting ready for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team that we're about to play, and that's why you come to the SEC. You want to play the #1 team in the country. You want to play those teams, and it's us against the world. I mean, they're there for a reason, and we're excited about it. And going into their house, pretty cool scenario.
They put up a stand during the game because they did more than any quarterback in the nation in the last 2 years. Do you hear that? Comes to mind.
I don't know. I mean, gotta get the ball out, gotta do some other things, but it is what it is. It's my job. I signed up for it. Sit in there and make the throws and take the hits. So, my job.
Now, you're probably not all over social media or listening to call-in shows. Some people say, hey, they should sit Austin this game so he doesn't get killed, so he'll be okay for the rest of the season. I assume you don't agree with that narrative.
No, I don't agree with that at all. If I'm healthy, I'm going to be out there. I'm a competitor, and that's just, I would never do that.
What did you think?
Welcome in. It's our Wednesday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins, Sport Talk Radio. It's brought to you by Lindsay & Associates with locations in Rogers, locations also too in Fayetteville. Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together. It's also brought to you by Locomotion, just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. It's also too brought to you by Fun City. You can catch up with them right off the 412 bypass in Springdale, Arkansas. And if you don't get a chance to check us out each and every day here on our live stream of On the Hill, you can catch us on iHeartRadio as we podcast each and every day's top segment. And we're going to open up today's show with a very, very exciting topic. And we're going to get a little insight as I'll be stepping away from my chair. And if you'll just blink a little bit, you'll get a blast from the passes. We're going to bring in Raymond House, former defensive end here at the University of Arkansas, played for Houston Nutt in a very successful time during Razorback football. We're going to get his take on just what he thinks is going on at the University of Arkansas, the Brett Bielema area. Has it ran out? That's a question we want to get a take from someone that's bled on that football field. But I want to reach out, and before we make the transition, I want to ask my producer Demetrius, his take on Austin Allen. Austin talked about just how he felt, what play it was that kind of made his throwing arm real uncomfortable. And then there was a question asked if he could play, would he play? And I think he was real definitive as what that answer would be, and also too just the opportunity it would present, for him as a competitor to play against Alabama. What say you on should Austin play or should he not play? Because I think I'm just feeling a little controversial today, so I want to throw that at you. And when we come back on where I sit, we'll have our special guest, Raymond House, and he'll give you his take as well.
Personally, I just feel I think they should play whoever is healthy. It's not about whether Austin wants to play or not, or whether if Austin thinks he can play. I think it's based on whoever's going to give the best team, well, in this case, the Razorbacks, the opportunity to win the game. And in this sense, I think it really is going to be Cole Kelly. I don't think Austin is really 100%. And I think going against the number one team, you want to play a guy that's 100%. You never want to throw a guy that's 75 or 60 playing against possibly the number one team in the nation, knowing the type of defensive players they're going to play in. And they're definitely going to bring the house defensively, blitz-wise, when they play the Razorbacks. They know our offensive line isn't as cognitive as it has been in the past. So I really believe that they're really going to give Cole the shot. I don't think they would throw Austin out here, but we're going to get Raymond House's take on that real quick. So, Raymond, what do you think? Do you think Austin is going to play this week, or Cole Kelly is going to get the start?
So make sure you guys can hear me okay. I take up a little bit more space over here than Pat does. I don't want to tear anything up. But I think kind of overhearing your comments, I think it is just definitely directed to is he healthy or not? And they've come to the conclusion that he gives them overall on an every down basis the best shot to be successful, and that's what you hope that he's 100%. Now, if he's not, I don't think you want to make matters worse by putting him in front of one of the best defenses in the country and put him in harm's way, because even past this game, you still got half of the season left that you want to try to do the best you possibly can to hopefully salvage and hopefully get this thing turned around. I know that's one of the things that they're definitely trying to focus on and see what they can get done. But and because I have heard a lot of rumblings about should he be the starter in the first place, Cole Kelly, and I'm not real sure if you can just take what he did in the fourth quarter against a second-team defense that wasn't coming after him. I don't think you can take a performance in a scenario like that and say that's the litmus test on how successful he can be on an every-down basis. And so I think you still have to ease him in. I think you still have to have packages for him, regardless of whether Austin Allen plays or not. I think you still have to find ways to integrate him and put your team as a whole in a position to be successful. So we'll definitely see. I mean, the main thing is you hope that Austin Allen is 100%, and then he's able to heal from his injuries best he possibly can anyway.
So if you're Brett Bielema and you're Dan Enos and you're offensively going into this game, knowing your quarterback's not 100%, knowing you're going to have the second string offensive quarterback in, offensively, what are you going to try to do to really put points on the board if you're that offense?
Well, I think you have to make sure that you simplify the game as much as you possibly can for Cole Kelly. He has an arm strength, but his grasp of the entire playbook is still fairly limited. So you have to put him in positions as best you possibly can to be successful. Don't ask him to go out there and take over the world. Don't ask him to go and do any Superman type of of plays. You just want him to be in a position to where he feels comfortable and put plays out there that he can execute. I wouldn't go out there and give him 3, 4, and 5 reads. Give him a 2 read. I mean, and plus, you have that other option of him being able to use his legs and get some yardages that way. So give him a first read, maybe a first read and a second read, and then tell him, hey, if you don't see it, then get what you can, pick up what you can, because you got a big body quarterback that can take some hits. We want to try to minimize those as possibly can. Still keep himself, protect himself, and make sure that at all times he's out there. He's not putting himself in harm's way needlessly, but he'll do what it takes to get things done. But you have to put him in positions to make sure that he really is in a good position where he understands what he's doing. There's not too much on him. You want to simplify it for him, and then that the guys around him have to step up. Right? And the best way you try to do that is the best way to you ease in a quarterback that's new to starting role is to have a solid run game that's around him. So they've got to make their ways. And although they've got some question marks in the offensive line, I think you still have to be creative on how you run the ball. Whether that be some jet sweeps to the outside, I don't think you can be predictable given their scenario and their situation that they're in right now. So, make sure that you don't put on him too much, and then make sure you have a solid running game and that's creative and unpredictable that's around him to help ease him into if that's what he's called upon to do this week.
Well, Raymond, I definitely want to thank you for coming on the Hill and getting a quick take. I know we kind of threw you on the spot there, but I really appreciate your educated opinion on the Hogs this week, man.
Oh yeah, thank you. And it was always a pleasure. Love what you guys are doing. I appreciate you all letting me be a part of it.
Definitely. Well, we're going to get a quick interview in with Jonathan Nance, and here's what he had to say.
Helping y'all out at all?
Yeah, I think it's doing a little something for some of us, and it's optional. So some people go out there and get the meditation.
You guys do it before practice, or?
We did a few times. We do it more like before we travel or once we travel to the hotel. And so we do that.
Jonathan, you guys got very talented D-backs, Minka Fitzpatrick, some of those guys. What do you see on film from those defensive backs?
They're very scrappy. They watch film, so they will know what you're doing, and they're well coached, and they're very physical. So we have to make sure that we've been emphasizing releasing off the ball and doing everything, running our routes at the right depth, and just making plays and contested catches.
They know where to put their hands on you to where the ref doesn't see it. They're very crafty in that regard. Has Coach talked to you about that kind of stuff and how to defeat that?
Yeah, he told us they're going to probably hold us, but we just got to fight through and make sure that we can't depend on the referees. We got to just go out there and make the play. Appreciate it.
Hey, how has the practice been? How's the vibe been this week after such a disappointing loss?
I feel like we bounced back. We had a lot of energy going on at practice today, and everybody was just bouncing around. So I feel like it's a good thing stirring up this week.
What did you guys see on tape that, I mean, I know you saw a lot of stuff that you guys would like to correct, but what'd you guys see when you went back and watched the game?
And we had a lot left out on the field that we could have did better, and which is always the case, but because you can always get better. But we just want to make sure we make our corrections and we're not making those mistakes this week.
Thanks, John.
That was junior wide receiver Jonathan Nance giving you a little of his take on how they're looking forward to going up against the Alabama Crimson Tide's secondary, also to just what they continue to have to do to improve offensively. And we're going to take a real quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking with UGA Sports' Jake Roos. He's up next. It's On the Hill with Pat Jenkins. Back in a moment.